Hello there YouTube and all the various sources of entertainment. I know this video took forever again, but I'm gonna try to get part 3 posted tomorrow. I promise this will be the end of it. I promise I'll at least try. Because the schedule's a little bit tight this week. I'm gonna make this video and then part 3, and then I'm gonna try to make it Thursday, and then I have something planned on Friday. But I'm still trying to get it all worked out, so it might not be done on Friday. Going on a vacation on Sunday. So, the schedule's all mumble jumble, and I don't do work on the weekend because on the weekends I do not have Wi-Fi. I go to a different location, my grandpa's, and he does not have Wi-Fi there, so I cannot make videos. Well, I can make videos, but I cannot post them until I get back to my house on the Sunday, usually the evening. Without that being said, let's get back to Summer of Steven Week 4 review. Now, in the last video I forgot to mention that the designs of Corrupt Jasper and Smoky Quartz, I loved Corrupt Jasper's design. It was phenomenal. I just loved her corruption process, and I loved the idea that she's the perfect quartz and that she followed Pink Diamond, and she has a strong resentment for Rose for killing her, or so people think, because some people are making conspiracy theories. And I also love the design of Smoky Quartz. At first I didn't, but I think that's just the way they animated it, where she was stretching out, because afterwards she looks pretty solid. She looks just like Steven. Her theme sounds just like Steven and Amethyst, and I forgot the voice actor's name. I think it was Nastasha. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. She does an amazing Smoky Quartz. She sounds just like Amethyst in Steven's vocabulary. She sounds a lot like Amethyst's voice and uses Amethyst's vocabulary. However, she can be kind of a little bit more mature of a voice at the same time. Well, she can't have a little bit of a reckless, childish voice. She can have a mature voice like Steven and Amethyst. It's all really good. Anyway, let's get to the actual Week 4 review, and that is in Back to the Moon. The rubies are there, and they are all back for a reason, and Steven gives them all names and asks them why he names the gem with the ruby with a gem in her eyeball. He names the ruby with a gem in her army. He names the ruby with the gem in her belly, navy. He names the ruby with the gem in her leggy, and he names the gem with the gem in her chest, Doc, which is the leader. So the rubies want Jasper because they went to Neptune and Jasper wasn't there, so Amethyst shapeshifts into Jasper, and since the rubies are dumb, they believe it, and they and the crystal gems sides, Peridot and Lapis, all go to the moon base, and it's actually revealed that this moon base belonged to Pink Diamond, not White Diamond like some have assumed. And during all this, we are getting information drops that Ruby seen what Rose did to Pink Diamond, and she asked Jasper / Amethyst to do it, but Jasper doesn't, either Amethyst doesn't know about it or she didn't want to talk about it. I'm assuming she didn't want to talk about it because she didn't want to say it in front of Steven. And we get an information drop that Rose did in fact shatter Pink Diamond, and Steven's appalled. He can't believe it. He's absolutely torn up, and he sees Pearl and Garnet's reactions, and he knows it's true, and he's in tears, and he's saying that Rose would never do that. And then Amethyst turns around, she sees Steven crying, and she can feel that. I'm assuming that since whenever you fuse in the show, some of the characteristics of the gem you fuse with rubs off on you. For example, Ruby is not as dumb as the other rubies because she fused with Sapphire, at least I'm guessing. So whenever Steven and Amethyst fused in the episode prior, Amethyst has some of Steven's feelings now. She knows a whole lot more about Steven. She understands his feelings, and I can see why she can understand Steven's feelings in these moments and why she seems so sad for him. Plus, on top of the fact she would have felt like that anyway, because she cares for Steven. She doesn't want to see him like this. She doesn't want to see him suffering because of this, and it's just eating up Steven on the inside. And so Amethyst's shape-shifted form is not holding out much longer, as we've seen at Steven's birthday. The shape-shifted form cannot last forever, and Amethyst is starting to lose her form. And then the rubies try to get up to the little communication up to file a report to Yellow Diamond, but it was smashed because of the events that happened, and it could have been great. And so they can't use it. And so the rubies are just going to go back to Homeworld until Yellow Diamond and Jasper decides, / Amethyst decides to stay. And the rubies getting ready to leave. Amethyst gives up her form, and then the rubies come back out and they see that Amethyst is not Jasper, so the rubies fuse and are getting ready to attack. Then Steven opens the airlock that Amethyst opened back, and it could have been great. And the rubies aren't getting sucked out, but then Pearl and Garnet fuse into Sardonyx and knock the rubies out, causing them to defuse. But then Eyeball pulls Steven out, and Steven gets sucked into the vacuum of space, and then Amethyst is screaming Steven's name, and then that's where the episode ends. The episode was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved the rubies' actions and how Eyeball was fangirling over Jasper, and each ruby was trying to earn Jasper's respect. It was just really funny. And also, my theory that the rubies were coming to arrest Jasper was wrong, so yeah. And here we go to Bubbled, the 4th part of the Season 3 finale. This was a big one. Steven's bubbled and he's lost in space. He got knocked unconscious and now he's in his bubble. And then he sees all the rubies splitting up, but then Eyeball latches onto his bubble. And then Steven's trying to prove that he's Rose to Eyeball just to make her feel better, because Eyeball failed the mission and she feels bad about that, so Steven tries to make her feel better by showing that he's Rose. Of course, Ruby doesn't believe it because he's a human, and Steven pulls up his shield to show Ruby that he has Rose's shield, but all Ruby remembers is the sword, and he doesn't have the sword since the lion's not with him. And let's see what happens next. They get into an asteroid field, and then Ruby gets hit in the gem. Steven has a new power where he can stretch out his bubble and make kind of like another double bubble, but the other bubble stretches out and it brings somebody in, so he didn't have to pop his bubble, bring Ruby in, then reform his bubble. So, seems like Steven's been getting a lot of additional power-ups to his bubble, which is good because his bubble is like pretty much it was my favorite weapon in Season 1, because it was the first ever ability Steven mastered completely. More on that later. And so, Eyeball is inside the bubble now, and we have this hilarious gag where Steven tries to heal Ruby with his healing spit, and he's just taking his time with it, and then Ruby's like, "What'd you do that for?" Because he's licked her eyeball, and it's really funny. And then it actually heals, and Ruby's like, "You have healing powers just like Rose Quartz did." And then Eyeball starts laughing maniacally, and then she pulls out her weapon, which is like a dagger, I think. Somebody correct me on that. She starts chasing around Steven. She knocks him down, and she says she's gonna remove his gem from him, and which essentially would maybe kill Steven, but we don't know, because even Steven questions this. He's like, "Wait, what would even happen to me if that happened?" And she's saying, she's getting over her head. She's saying, "I'm gonna be a high figure in Homeworld. I'll even get my own pearl." And she's getting ready to shatter Steven's gem, but then Steven is forced to throw Ruby out, or Eyeball out, and she's lost in space with the other rubies. And then Steven loses his breath and his bubble becomes smaller. I guess it's either because both he lost innocence because he had to again toss another person to the side. Out of this entire season, he had to toss Bismuth to the side, Jasper, and now Eyeball. He's tossed them all to the side, but it's only because he had to. He had no other choice. And he's also probably dying because he didn't have enough oxygen to live anymore. But then the Ruby ship comes in and abducts Steven, and then we see that the gems piloted the ship, and they're in tears, and they start hugging Steven. Then Love Like You starts playing, which is, if you guys don't know, Love Like You is the ending theme song for the show, and we never got the full version until this. And then Steven finally asks a question for once in his life. He asks if his mom really did shatter Pink Diamond, and Garnet says yes, she did. Now, some people have been theorizing that she didn't, and that's a completely different topic for another day. And either way, Steven, instead of crying over it or just letting him affect him, well, it does affect him, but he doesn't let it show. He just says, "Thanks for telling me." It really shows Steven's maturity. And it's kind of ironic that Steven tried to prove to Eyeball that he was Rose, even though the entire point of Season 3 is to prove that he's not Rose, he's somebody completely different. Either way, Bubbled was a great episode. And I will see you guys in the last part of the Summer of Steven Week 4 review. I know it's been long, but it'll be worth it. Week 4 was pretty good. I'll see you guys in the next video.